So let us call the Master's name 3 times together. Hilarion, Hilarion, Hilarion. We typically name the Ascended Masters who we call to in the preambles of our prayers. Yet sometimes we get a little rote in this. How often do we simply make a deep personal connection with a master and address one particular master and name their name with great God intent and love and affection? Mother Mary, Jesus, Saint Germain, Arcturus, Aramesis. What is in a name? The flame of the Master, the essence of that divine one who is one with God, the key to their higher life stream, which is their God stream of divine consciousness. We know that invoking their names releases their causal body into our domain to effect transformation and change in our world. Let us never forget their names, yet more importantly, let us always know that when we call to them, when we call their name, they, by cosmic law, are impelled to respond. As you call your children, if you're a mother or father, you call your child and you desire for them to respond or to do something. You call your spouse on the phone or in person, and you, of course, expect a response. Can a master do less than respond to our call? No. He or she is God responsive, divinely responsive. And because the masters are responsible in a divine way, they respond. And in that response, there is a divine givingness that comes from their hearts, their minds, and their wills to enrich our lives with the essence that they release at that moment in time and space to provide for us an impetus to help us in our victorious journey home to the heart of God. We have our rituals, we have our divine habits, and prayer is one of them, very essential in the Heart Center movement. Yet let us make our prayers count even more than ever before at this critical juncture in our Earth's history by pouring forth within the words that we speak something even more impeccable and sure in its ability to stir the heavens, stir the ethers within the heaven world, so that these divine beings will come to our aid and assist us as they are responsive to our needs, our requirements. The Master Hilarion would like to speak to us tonight on the primary truths of the Ascended Masters. Truth and reality are intertwined. We can only know the truth when we are willing to face reality. Truth sometimes stings. Yet the sting is often a positive inoculation of light, like a needle coming into us, to bring us into a higher reality. Some would rather remain in ignorance, for Have you heard? Ignorance is bliss. Yet ignorance is not true bliss. True bliss comes through self-realization of the truth, the way, and the life within the Christic path of oneness toward and with God. Are you willing to accept the truth into your household, which is your personal temple of light? Are you willing to listen to truth when she speaks? Are you willing to accept the truth when she speaks, even when it is diametrically opposed to your former belief system, your paradigms, your comfort zone? Are you then willing to act upon what is revealed as truth in order to improve your life and the lives of others? To serve the truth so that that truth can help awaken others and make them free. If the truth indeed sets us free, there is a direct correlation between truth and freedom. We cannot be free unless we know the truth. And conversely, we cannot know the truth unless we have freed our minds and hearts somewhat to accept that truth, even if it is difficult or painful. What are the primary truths of the Ascended Masters, the angels, and other divine beings, which they would share with us and with humanity? God is one. God is light. God is love. God is all that is. God created us in his, her image and likeness, gave us free will, and endowed us with all the talents and gifts and potential that we require to carve out our divine destiny in the light. God lives, moves, and has his, her being within us, and we live, move, and have our being within God. In effect, and in cause, we are one. Though we may have temporarily forgotten our true oneness by acceptance of duality as a reality. We can choose unity. We can choose to reunite with God by accepting our oneness and self-realizing our true nature again through focused attention upon the Divine One, constancy in following our conscience, which is our inner guide, and the consecration of our lives and energies toward this loving union with our Source. We will receive all the assistance that we require on our path so long as we are open and willing to receive it. Verily, to accept and know the truth that will set us free. God is a loving, merciful, just, friendly, and cooperative being, as well as an omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent Divine One. Because God is all virtuous, we don't have to fear God or cower to God or feel that God is distant or uninvolved in our lives. God is our very life. And so because God gave us life and God sustains our life, God desires that we continue to live in harmony and in oneness, and that we are fulfilled as eternal spirits, one with the entire Spirit of the cosmos. These simple truths are a type of divine theocracy, if you would, that makes sense to us if we have any sense at all. And why we are here, what our mission is, or what our purpose is. All of what the Master just shared makes sense when you think about it beyond religiosity, catechism, or established organizations. We have the truth inside of us. It is a living flame. It is a living reality. It is life itself, because life is truth. And when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, all three of those as a trinity of beingness within his Christic presence were part and parcel to what he demonstrated, what he had attained to, what he was an exemplar of for every one of us, whether during that time or even now in the present moment. Now, if we take our cue from Jesus and the Christ who lived, moved, and had its being through him, then we too will be the way, the truth, and the life for others. And we will demonstrate tangibly, reverently, beautifully, that same Christic energy, that same light, that same dynamic that he did. And by doing this, we are an extension of his presence, where we live, where we move, where we have our being. Truth really is simple when you allow it to provide its wisdom teaching to you from within you. You can be uneducated in one sense outwardly and yet know the truth inwardly because of your strong connection with your presence. Mark Prophet didn't even finish high school. Yet what a great being, and one as a messenger who became a master in his own right. Some even in our midst tonight didn't go to college or didn't finish college. Why? Because they found a teaching and a truth that was beyond that which was shared in the normal university setting. They sought something deeper, more mystical, maybe out of certain traditions, yet part of a higher tradition of the universal brother-sisterhood of light, previously known as the Great White Brotherhood, or the Universal White Brotherhood. Wherever you are on the spectrum of your self-becoming, there is always an opportunity to learn more, to accept more divine wisdom and this emerald light of truth deeper into your being so that it suffuses its essence through your consciousness, your mind, your heart, your soul, so that you are enriched and enlivened by its co-creative power. Truth is power. It has been said the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, what is that pen? It is the truth of the moment, writ by divine hands through inspired ones upon earth. If the pen is mightier than the sword, truth will have its way to free mankind at any point in history through leaders and those whom they lead who are willing to bear that light of truth within their hearts and beings and be a nexus for planetary change and transformation. We in our movement are those who are willing to bear the light of truth internally in our auras, chakras, causal body. Because you are willing to bear the truth and to be that light of truth, you are here. You are responsive. You are animated. You are effulgent in the grace of God that pours through you as you share your co-creativity, as you give your talents and gifts on the altar of the world to prove that you are, as an initiate and as a divine son or daughter, one in whom that light still beckons others back to God. As beacons of light, as reservoirs of light, as exponents of light's radiant energies that can use you as an instrument any moment of any day, at any time, in any place, you become a portal through which divine truth speaks, sings, dances, acts, models what is amazingly, articulately, reverently, and beautifully divine. When you become the Word by allowing truth to take hold of you and shake you until there is nothing left of you than goodness and beauty and harmony and peace, then God entrusts unto you your messengership as an exponent of truth. And what you speak with integrative light and understanding becomes a means of expression that by its very nature transforms souls, because you are transmitting Christic essences through your chakras, and especially through your throat, your mind, and your heart. The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Oh, how these divine freedoms outlined by those who wrote this sacred document are being challenged and eroded today. An example, during the current so-called COVID-19 outbreak and crisis, government has limited people's ability to assemble, to worship, and to speak, even to sing in certain churches. One of the most grievous examples is in the state of California. The governor declaring that people cannot sing in church, let alone gather in groups more than 50. Imagine a year ago if you were told that this would be the new norm. This is anti-religion, anti-speech, anti-assembly. Freedom of speech is being challenged as certain individuals are being limited from speaking on college campuses and elsewhere because of what? Political correctness and these seemingly new standards. If you don't go along with what is being promulgated now, you are chastised, you are called out, you are canceled. Is this freedom of speech, or is it something diabolically antithetical to this, one of our sacred freedoms? Freedom of the press has been limited for quite some time through a corporate-controlled mass media that often tells us what to think rather than giving us real facts and information to make our own informed choices. Look at the recent example of Nicholas Sandmann, a teenager in high school, a Catholic, going to Washington, D.C., standing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and then what the media did to him. Fortunately, he has an attorney that has challenged some of the mass media, and as I heard on the radio recently, he could end up being a multimillionaire. Not that this was his desire, simply the result of dishonesty in the media. Do we truly have freedom of the press? In some respects, yes, yet in many, no, because the press is jaded, is controlled, and so those who are awake and aware of the truth search elsewhere for those truths, which they must know in order to maintain their freedom and live in freedom. And thus, during these hours of truth, week by week, every other week, the Master has requested that we share a documentary or an expose to bring some of these which are being hidden from the masses of mankind to you. And then you can make your own choice whether to believe what we share and take it in as you desire, or reject it as you desire. It is up to you. You are free to parse what is being shared and to process it if you would, and either accept it, digest it, or spit it out. This is a time of peril when the First Amendment is being eroded to the point where the Master has to come and speak as those have in the past who stood for the truth, the way, and the life of the common man as well as all peoples of all cultures, races, persuasions. We will stand for the truth at this time until all are free from the impositions of those naysayers of truth who promulgate the lie. And if you desire to be one with Hilarion, who is set on this being part of your greater mission, then as you live in the freedom and in the integrity of your I Am God presence, as you promote truth where it is and challenge the lie as it exists, you will be both a friend of the Master and one through whom God will continue to reveal more as you attend to the altars of heaven and bring forth, even through your own being, progressive revelation. Those who are called to bring forth progressive revelation must have surrendered on the altar of God all personal desire for glory, for fame, for recognition. This is how you become a messenger of light. You surrender and let God be the Word through you and speak the Word through you. When you let go fully of your human ego, let go of the ego. When you let go of the ego, then you can get in the divine game and go forward in light to speak what is real, what is valuable, what has both the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of heaven at its core. Many of you have laid down your life in past incarnations as defenders of truth, exponents of truth. You have challenged a lie, and so you are here because you demonstrated your firmness and resolve to be that light of truth. The Master is showing me the emerald bands of your causal body when you, both in this and past lives, were these exponents of truth. And the Master applauds each and every one of you who have surrendered the human ego to be the divine one in that moment, to save souls, to challenge the lie so that the truth could be revealed and many could be saved. Praise God for each of you who have stood for truth, sacrificed for truth, sought truth above personal glory or desires. The Master Hilarion empowers us with the emerald ray tonight and whenever we require it, to be courageous enough to speak the truth, even passing the initiation that Peter failed when he denied Christ thrice. Imagine that, a chief disciple denying his master 3 times. Even Jesus prophesied it to him. He could not believe that he would ever deny Jesus, and yet he did. The lesson here is for each of us. How have we or will we ever deny the truth when we are confronted with forces that may be demonic or controlling? Will we stand up for what is real, holy, pure, and divine, even in the face where our lives are threatened? It's a question we can all ask. If we can truly say, I will stand and defend truth, and will pass my initiation, the one that Peter failed, then praise God. Hopefully we will have the courage and the resolve that when the initiation comes, we will not shrink back and shirk our divine responsibility to stand firm in the light and to support a master or truth itself.